Can't forget about the man with the plan saying, catch me if you can, the one and only Matt Robertson.
Yeah, Matt Robertson, you see, he loves to throw a big swim bait, and we've had the conditions for it leading up to now. The wind and the clouds are really great conditions to throw a swim bait, whether you're fishing around the trees like you saw that first fish, or these last two. The last one and this one is big fish so far today. Offshore, Lake Moultrie, eelgrass. Big swim bait and a big top water bait. That one there on the top water. Lots of fun. He, like you mentioned, had a lot of fun last week on the top water. The first day was not able to follow that up on day two, but he has done that here and gotten himself to almost a 10-pound lead.
Well, welcome to our on-location coverage. I'm Dave Mercer, joined by Bassmaster Classic champion, Angler of the Year, and Bass Fishing Hall of Famer Davey Height. And Matt Robertson, for the second week in a row, is threatening to win this event. And I talked to the staff reporters, and I actually heard the tape of his interview with all of our writers, and it was it was like a battle listening to the reporters trying to get information out of him and him refusing to give information just simply because he said, man, I gave out too much last week. I want to seal the deal on this title.
He did maybe give out a little bit too much last week, but Lake Murray, where I grew up, and a lot of time I've spent fishing here on Lake Marion and Lake Moultrie. I'll be honest with you, last week when he led day one and I found out how he was leading it, I had no faith, unfortunately, that he would be able to do that for 3 more days. Here, he hasn't told me exactly what he's doing, but I know what he's doing because I know enough about what's going on down there, and he's got a great chance to win this tournament if he keeps doing exactly what he's doing.
Matt Robertson, for the second week in a row, threatening to win. He's won a Bassmaster Open, but he would love to seal the deal on an Elite Series title. And there, a look at our playing field, Santee, Cooper, Lakes, and trying to whittle our field down to our top 50. You got to be inside the top 50 to keep your tournament alive. And really happy to see Paul Mueller once again catching him. An incredible angler, you know, a former Bass Nation national champion, but really has been on a tough course the last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But if you think about his last win, he went kind of against the grain, went a very long way away from takeoff, and he is doing that here. So maybe he just needed to kind of get back in that routine.
It's good. It's good. I know. I see it. Oh, it's not as big as the other one. Dang it. It's all right. We'll take it. We need it. We need a 5th fish anyway. Dude, there was 2 of them. And like I said, when they engage with it, I don't look at the screen no more. I just work the bait, wait for the bite. But I mean, they competed over it. The little one bit it. Dude, the one with it was twice the size. No, it's not bad.
Obviously, this would be his limit fish.
It's not bad. I don't know about that. But it's a fish we need anyway. She likes to be on television. It's not ready yet. Gosh, these fish fight like crazy. When I set the hook, it took off. It took off like crazy. See, and that's the thing. Some of them get skin hooked, but that one had a little meat on it. That bass before that I lost, that real big one, that hook never went in. These Gamakatsus, man, if they go in, you do not lose fish. But you could see too, that fish was skin hooked, where if I pull too hard, I may lose that fish too. But I didn't pull too hard on the other one. That hook just never went in that fish. I'll put that thing, I'll put him in there. I want to weigh him. I don't know where I did him. I put him in the skid thing for a minute. He's 5. I'll weigh him when we got a call. I ain't gonna play around. Oh, slow and steady grind. But the thing is, there's potential too. That's the thing. Like, I'm seeing fish. Not a lot, but I'm seeing fish. So that's got to be, what do you think, a 3-pounder?
That's a 3-pounder there, probably a little bit.
A little bit more?
Change, yeah.
See, as soon as I leave. Poor Stego. That was shallow. Like, I almost didn't pull up this shallow, but there's stumps all through here. And I think there's bass all through here too. They just spread out where you just have to move around. There's a balance of, you go too fast and you spook fish. You don't see the full picture. And I was going slow through here, dude, and I had opportunities. I couldn't even present a bait to some of them, because some of them are so tight to that cover that you don't see them till you get close to them. And if you get within 40, 50 feet of those fish, you've revealed yourself. You got to be like, that was 60 foot away. That's about as close as I want to get to those fish. So it's tough. It's tough, and you know, them little ones are biting. You know, dude, there was one with it. It was twice as big. You know, probably a big female, or who knows. I mean, there's fish around here. We just got to keep. What I think is amazing though is how fast that fish went for, like, how they both went at it, like, real fast. And I'm like, oh boy, I know what that's gonna be. But then I had one right there that, same thing, like it nosed down on it. I'm like, oh, that's done deal, and never bit it. Can't catch them all, I guess.
Well, Paul Mueller, no stranger to wins, will leave his television show basically for the last 10 minutes or so and look at the 2 wins that Paul Mueller had, and not including, of course, his Bass Nation National Championship.
Yeah, Paul Mueller really put on a show and showed a lot of people how efficient he is with his electronics. Lake Lanier, I think it was February 2019, maybe early March. I think February 2019. Caught a couple just stud spotted bass. I think that one was about a 6-pounder. Paul Mueller held the first blue trophy over his head. The next year he got going the same way.
That'll work.
Early in 2020, St. Johns River, he chose to go north up the river. Probably 98% of the field went to the south of Palatka, Florida, and he was able to get another blue trophy in almost exactly a year apart. A lot of top 10s in between there, but Paul Mueller back on his game here today on Lake Moultrie.
Mueller has a good history with Palatka. A lot of stories. I remember one year he had to leave the tournament early for the birth of his son, and then he took the win there. And this morning, that very son, Waylon, threatened camera guy Jake Latondra, said, "You better take care of my dad today." I think it's going good. Oh, Skeeter Boats. BFA, big fish alert. Drew Benton, last week's champion, 7 pounds, 4 ounces.
7 pound, 4 ounces. That's the one that I don't know this, but just guessing. I heard Drew Benton and Drew Cook talk about a 7-pounder they weren't able to get to bite yesterday afternoon, but that might be her. Wouldn't doubt it a bit. Not a lot of 7-pounders left up on the bed here on these 2 lakes, but I'm sure there's some. Mark Menendez fishing quite a bit north of the launch. Certainly the only one we've got a camera with up in that area. Not surprising to me, had a real good day yesterday, much slower today. That area of Lake Marion has not been consistent all spring. Catch a good stringer one day and go bad the next. And it bit a few people yesterday, but luckily for Mark Menendez, he was not one of them, but it's much, much slower for him here today than yesterday. The good thing about that area, though, it only takes 4 bites. We saw some anglers yesterday with 3 or 4 fish. Larry Nixon with 2 for 12 something. You know, it only takes a few bites, and it doesn't take long to get 3 or 4 bites anywhere on these 2 lakes.
Polnick at 4 for 21.
Yes, incredible.
Your TH Marine weather, you can see today a high of 82, low of 61. Cloudy, west-southwest winds 10 to 15. So, beautiful day. And tomorrow, 85 degrees, a low of 64. Sunny, west-southwest winds 5 to 10. So, pretty consistent for today and tomorrow.
And that'll be the end of the consistency for the week. Sunday's supposed to be much, much different.
Well, it's Championship Sunday, so of course it's going to get a little cooler, 76 degrees with a low of 54 and some morning thunderstorms. It wouldn't be Championship Sunday if somebody didn't throw a wrench in it, and this time it is courtesy of our TH Marine Weather Watch.
Matt Robertson, Paul Mueller, Kyle Welcher fishing Lake Moultrie. I've seen some wind forecasts. That's a couple days away. It's hard to predict the weather, let alone the wind speeds a few days out. But I've seen some 20 to 25 gust up to 35. That's if you've never been on Lake Moultrie with the winds like that, that'll change things a lot. A lot.
Well, we've been getting lucky so far weather-wise. I mean, what we've had to deal with has been good. But quite the big storm we had, it was forecast to hit during the day. It didn't. It pushed back into the evening. And then last night we had a bunch of rain as well. And a storm moved through that was supposed to be yesterday afternoon, and it pushed back a little bit. So let's hope.
Mother Nature has been kind to you on the way-ins this week. Last week, too.
Yeah.
We've had some thunderstorms, and a day or two out has been predicting they'd be during the weigh-in, but we have not had that. We've been blessed with really good weather, and it is absolutely gorgeous here right now.
Mother Nature, obviously a Bassmaster fan.
Yes.
Bryant Smith, a highly touted West Coast rookie. I mean, Kent Brown could not. I mean, every time he weighs in a big bag, I think about Kent Brown in wherever he is in the West Coast, jumping up and down with excitement. Cool story. Actually, got a picture that Kent showed me of him on a trout pond when Bryant Smith was, a young man, and showing, I don't know if he's showing how to fish, or they were just, maybe Bryant was showing him how to fish,
right.
But the picture looks good. It's cool when you hear stories like that. And little known story by many people. Our current leader in Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Year points once won a coloring contest to go fishing with a pro angler. Brandon Cobb, is this true?
That is true. That is true.
Wow.
I wish I had a picture with young Brandon Cobb when he was back in those days. He was he's young now still, but he was certainly young back then.
I'm sure you kept the coloring on your fridge, didn't you, Dave?
Yeah, but Natalie took it down when I was off at a tournament one time, and we've been looking for it for quite a while.
Mark Menendez, Brian Smith, Matt Robertson, and Kyle Norsetter, your 4-box live on the water right now. The goal today is stay inside the top 50. 104 anglers started out this event. We have 104 on the water today. But this time tomorrow, there will only be 50. Atop the leaderboard right now, Matt Robertson with 46 pounds and an ounce. And Davey, who do we got to watch?
You almost got to hope, I'll be honest with you, almost got to hope someone else down on the lower end, Kyle Welcher, can make a move, because Matt Robertson is kind of extending that lead more than we like.
We'll be right back from the Avco Bassmaster Elite at Santee Cooper Lakes. Bassmaster Live.